for all of us working on modern-day slavery, it was gigantic. You know, to basically have the leader of the free world say that trafficking is slavery, so make no mistake about it. It's not something else. It's slavery again. That was huge. The fact that he said to treat victims as victims, not criminals, is gigantic, especially in the realm of underage sex trafficking, because too often across our country, children and teenagers are arrested for the crime of prostitution rather than being seen through the lens which the federal government and the UN sees them as victims of the severest form of human trafficking.
And a lot of these victims are, when you talk about human trafficking, I mean, a lot of you mentioned the word prostitutes. A lot of this is sex, right?
In this country, it's about 50-50. 50% labor trafficking, 50% sexual slavery.
And where is it happening? I mean, I know that it can be happening very close, let's just say, to places like the White House.
Yeah, it's happening about 3 blocks from the White House on Avenue K, I believe. There's a place that at 9 p.m. at night you can find an underage person to have sex with you. You will buy that sex from her trafficker, and you, instead of being labeled a pedophile, if you get caught, according to one DC NGO leader, in the 300 cases she's worked on with underage victims of human trafficking, not one time has the John been arrested, not once. And this is in cases with kids as young as 10 being caught in the act. And the kid is taken in by law enforcement and often charged as a criminal for the crime of prostitution, and the man who was buying the services of a minor is sent home. We don't want to ruin your life. We don't want to make things hard for you. Go home to your wife and family.
And when you talk about Washington, D.C., you also said it's around the country. Where else would you say are some of the hot spots where this is happening?
Everywhere. I mean, it's happening all over. Atlanta's a big hot spot. New York is a big hot spot. Sacramento, Seattle, Portland. Any big city has it. Every city in America has it, but it's also on the internet. So the pimps go on the internet. They go onto an app like Backpage.com has an app, and you can basically buy sex via the internet.
And around the world, this is a problem of at least 20 million people.
Yes. Louis C. DeBaca, our State Department's ambassador at large to combat human trafficking, said the other night at the Polaris Project event that it's 27 million people living in slavery today. But, you know, our film Trade of Innocence deals with the problem of child sex trafficking in Southeast Asia, and we made it in Thailand, but for Cambodia, because the Cambodians did not want us there.
What got you passionate about this? Oscar-winning actress, mom, you have a lot going on in your life, and you've dedicated an immense amount of personal time and passion to this.
It's meeting survivors. Once I did, you know, I was working for Amnesty International as their Stop Violence Against Women campaign spokesperson, and we covered human trafficking as one of the topics that really affects women and girls in the world. And I rediscovered that slavery is alive and well. It's just gone underground. It's illegal now, but it's thriving. It's a $32 billion a year criminal enterprise, second only, tied with illicit arms trading to the drugs. And yet the U.S. government spends in 1 month more on the war on drugs than it has ever spent on domestic and international programs against slavery since 2000. I mean, more in 1 month. And in 1 month, the U.S. government spends twice as much on military marching bands as it does for a whole year of anti-trafficking efforts. So there's something wrong. I know we have a tough time with our deficit. I know we have a tough time with the budget. But people are so important. And every one of these people who is saved. Right now, there's only a 1 in 100 chance that a victim of human trafficking will be saved. When that person is saved, and when you meet that person, you meet that survivor, and survivors they're no longer victims, they're incredible. But you look into their eyes and you understand person to person viscerally what they've gone through, being treated like an object, a thing, lower than an animal. And then you see the bravery, the courage, the fortitude to go forward and help others. They all are so altruistic and incredible. And that's why President Obama gave them a shout out the other day. I was at the table with the survivors, and they were blown away because they just had a big meeting with him, and then he shouted them out, and everybody gave him a standing ovation. And it was a very big day for them because they influenced his speech.